Hey, welcome back to the show. You know, we were pretty inspired by that tart that Tara Teaspoon whipped up in the last segment. It was so easy. So then I flipped through the book, Delicious Gatherings, and I just wanted to try something that was kind of quick and easy. So we decided to try the marinara sauce. And listen, I'm Italian and we can cook a gravy all day. But if this is delicious in less than a half an hour, I'm in. I thought we'd try it. So producer Suzie, fellow Italian, she's joining me as well. Now, I can hear my grandmother saying, no marinara sauce worth its weight in 20 minutes, right? Tomatoes can be done in a half an hour.
I know. I would have agreed, but at the same time, I think it's all fresh ingredients. And
it's got a differently more of a fresca kind of vibe, as opposed to like a rich sauce that's got a lot of wine in it, that's been cooking, that's sat overnight, that maybe your uncle spat in. I don't know.
Who could say?
Who could say?
I also love to make a bolognese that takes 6 to 8 hours. I just love the process.
I do too.
But this is actually, you chose this, and I think it's great.
I just thought it would be fun, especially too if I'm trying to teach my kids or have my kids help me cook. I thought this was something that they could do that was pretty easy. And even though that, you know, Felix walked by this earlier when he came to the studio and he was like, is that salsa? And I'm like, no, that is marinara.
Is a giant meatball marinara. Okay, so we already got started with the olive oil and some garlic. It takes big cloves of garlic. That's also, I think, part of it is you're going for big flavor.
Yeah.
So this has been cooking for about a minute, and we're going to add the tomatoes.
It smells so good, by the way. There's nothing like the smell of garlic and olive oil together.
And this it actually called for petite diced tomatoes, and I like this brand, so I just went with the diced. So this will be either a little chunkier, I think,
or you could put it in your food processor and make it more of a slurry.
Also, while it's cooking, I press down sometimes. So I'll let you do that.
Press.
So then next comes actually just fresh herbs, and they want about 2 tablespoons of oregano. I love fresh oregano. You just give it a quick chop. Okay. Oh, it smells so good. And then it wants about 2 tablespoons. Recipe.
You know about oregano too, it's a really good time of year when we're starting to get in the cold and flu season to make sure you are doubling up on the oregano when you're cooking. I mean, it's good for you.
Wow, I love that.
I sometimes even just put oregano oil directly in my mouth.
It's
almost like putting like nuclear waste in your mouth.
All right, but healthier. Okay.
I mean, it kicks a cold right where it hurts.
So that's basil, and then just salt and pepper.
So oregano, basil, salt and pepper, just some garlic. Any onions in this?
No, and because of the garlic, you don't need the onions. And I think too, because we added the fresh herbs, if you don't have them, you can use the
I feel like for this,
dried.
I don't feel like you can use dried with this one. Because there's so little that goes into it. Yeah. Like typically I put carrots and celery sometimes in my marinara sauce.
And this one's just very basic.
So you need, I think, fresh for this.
Yeah, you need fresh. And so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna bring this will come to a boil.
Okay.
Just to get everything solidified. And then we're gonna simmer it for 20 minutes, which through the magic of television, we don't have to. We made it. Okay. One other thing that I might do, well, you'd go ahead and try the marinara. And we use also her recipe, Tara's recipe for the giant dinner meatballs. And the meatballs actually have carrot for sweetness in them, as well as onion, more garlic.
This is very al fresco. It's very fresh tasting.
What do you think of the sauce that you're making?
I think the tomatoes are a little big for my taste.
Okay.
But that's okay.
So they will cook down, or like you said, put them in the blender.
This is really fresh. It tastes really fresh.
Yeah.
And actually, I would almost serve this as an appetizer. If I was making like a lasagna or something.
And have that.
And have this. Yeah. And then this is a really easy appetizer to make.
I thought the giant meatballs were actually very easy to make too.
Fun fact about basil, by the way, I've noticed with all this inflation and stuff, I don't even buy the fresh cut in I just buy the plant now. The plant is cheaper than
the whole package of basil.
And I've kept it alive now for like 3 weeks. Yay me.
What? Another tip that I think, since I like things to have a little bit of a bite and spice, is I would add a little bit of red pepper.
Red pepper, I was going to say. It needs a little red pepper.
It needs a little red pepper.
Just a little bit.
But this will cook down even in 20 minutes, and if you keep pressing, your tomatoes will get,
But hey,
some people like it chunkier. I know you're not a
tomato fan.
Guy. Yeah.
I liked it to be like least from its original form as possible.
I love that. Delicious.